Ecclesiastes 3 verse 1. There is an appointed time for everything, and there is a time for every matter under heaven. Ecclesiastes is one of the most honest books in the Bible. It does not pretend that life is simple or easy. It acknowledges that life often feels confusing. Some seasons bring joy, while others bring sorrow. There are moments of celebration and moments of grief. There are times when prayers seem to be answered immediately and times when heaven appears silent. Yet, in the middle of all of life's unpredictability, this verse offers a profound truth. God has not lost control of time. The writer of Ecclesiastes, traditionally understood to be Solomon, reminds us that life unfolds in seasons. We may not understand those seasons while we are living through them, but they are not random accidents outside of God's awareness. The phrase, "there is an appointed time for everything," teaches us that there is purpose even when we cannot see it. The word appointed points to something determined or suitable. It does not mean that every painful event is good in itself, but it means that God can work through every season of life according to His wisdom. Relevant for today. We live in a world that demands immediacy. We expect instant messages, same-day deliveries, quick answers, and rapid solutions. When things do not happen according to our schedule, frustration quickly follows. We want healing now. We want relationships restored now. We want financial breakthroughs now. We want justice now. Yet God's timing often differs from our own. Many people today are waiting. Some are waiting for employment after losing a job. Some are waiting for reconciliation in broken families. Others are waiting for healing from illness or emotional wounds. Some are waiting for direction, wondering what God wants them to do next. Waiting can feel like wasted time, but Ecclesiastes teaches that waiting seasons have value. God often uses them to shape our character, deepen our faith, teach patience, and redirect our priorities. A seed planted in the ground does not become a tree overnight. Hidden growth takes place long before visible fruit appears. In much the same way, God may be doing important work in our lives that cannot yet be seen. Trusting God's timing. One of the greatest challenges for believers is surrendering control of the timetable. We frequently pray, "Lord, here is what I want you to do, and here is when I want you to do it." But faith sometimes means saying, "Lord, I trust that your timing is wiser than mine." That trust is not passive resignation. It is active confidence in God's character. Even when we cannot understand His schedule, we can trust His heart. The Bible repeatedly demonstrates this truth. Joseph endured years of betrayal and imprisonment before God elevated him to save many lives. David was anointed as king long before he actually sat on the throne. Abraham and Sarah waited decades for the promised son. The people of Israel waited centuries for the coming of the Messiah. From a human perspective, God's timing often appeared delayed. From God's perspective, it was perfect. What this means for us. Ecclesiastes 3 verse 1 invites us to stop fighting the season we are in and instead ask, "What is God teaching me in this season? How can I remain faithful right now? How can I honor Him while I wait? How can I serve others in the midst of my own uncertainty?" If you are experiencing a joyful season, receive it with gratitude. If you are walking through hardship, do not lose hope. If you are waiting for answers, continue trusting. The God who oversees the rising and setting of the sun also holds the details of your life in His hands. Nothing catches Him by surprise. You may not understand the reason for your current season today, but one day you may look back and see that God was working even when you could not perceive it. So take courage. The season you are in is not forever. The sorrow has an end, the joy has meaning, and above all, the God who appoints the times remains faithful through them all. There is an appointed time for everything, and there is a time for every matter under heaven. May this truth remind us to trust God's wisdom, rest in His sovereignty, and faithfully walk with Him through every season of life.